Hey, welcome back to the Breakroom, everybody. We're rizzed up. We hope you are too. Because this is the Oops All Headline Show, okay? We're going to be going through all the nerdy news of the week. All the stuff you need to know. Breaking it down, talking about it. I'm here with my trusty co-host, Mr. Tommy Bechtold.
It's your boy, the Drip King. Rizzed up, frizzed up, grizzed up, because I'm going after a bear tonight with my bare hands.
Wow. Season 2 of The Bear on FX?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean, the cast.
Oh, okay.
The cast is not safe as long as I'm at large.
I'm Zach Huddleston. We're thrilled to be here with you on the Breakroom channel. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, we're a brand new baby channel. Subscribe. Subscribe on our YouTube. Yeah. Hit like. If you're watching us on Twitch right now, thank you so much. If you're watching us on YouTube, check us out on Twitch as well, where you can watch us live.
I can't do it alone. I can't keep going to the public library and holding people at knife point and making them subscribe.
It's not an efficient way to build our subscriber base. Coming up on this episode, we're going to talk about some big, maybe sad news. Marvel skipping Comic-Con this year.
That is the big sad news from today.
If unless you're at the bottom of the North Atlantic, this is the worst thing that's happened to you today. We're also going to be going through some interesting details revealed about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Blu-ray and 4K release, including some deleted scenes. And we're going to be talking about a bunch of different secret invasion stuff, including this kind of controversial AI-generated intro sequence.
Really getting under people's craws, and I got to say, I'm with it. Let's take these robots down.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I'm with the AI.
Oh, I am AI.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a self-hating AI.
Yeah. First, hey, let's just get right into some headlines.
Rip the band.
Hit that headline graphic. Yeah.
Ooh, it's so sweet. It's so crisp.
So we just got news today that Marvel Studios will not be doing a big Hall H San Diego Comic-Con panel. Last year, that's of course where we got Kevin Feige on stage, debuting 3 new phases worth of content.
We got that big map, the big timeline.
I actually think we have that big timeline. Look at that beautiful thing. This is actually an adjusted one that we've made in-house. Yeah. But these things still stand. I think this has all been updated per delays and stuff like that. So we're supposedly, as of now, we're not getting something like that from Marvel Studios. Is
there even any reason to go to Comic-Con anymore? Oh, yeah, there is. The Breakroom in New Rockstars has a panel Friday night, 8 p.m. Hall D&D?
CDE? CDE? I don't know.
Something like all of them.
6DE.
6DE.
We have a huge panel, 800-seat room they gave us. We also are going to get some special guests, maybe some celebrity friends might show up. But we're going to have to carry the weight that Marvel cowardly refuses to.
Challenge accepted. I may make some announcements of my slate. Yeah. I've got a bunch of litigation coming up, so it turns out I may have to turn myself in shortly after Comic-Con.
Your slate, your docket, your dance card. So the reason they're doing this, and actually we have some kind of inside connections to some folks at Marvel who have kind of confirmed this. Big thing going on in Hollywood right now. There's a writer's strike. There is a potential actor strike at the end of June.
Yep.
Both those things might still be going on during Comic-Con, so that means no writers can come to promote things, no actors can come to promote things, and that's a really big deal.
And the way it generally works in the industry is the unions work in solidarity with each other. Yeah. So even if SAG somehow avoided a strike, I could see it being an awkward thing and maybe some people choosing to sit it out anyway. SAG, by the way, has not struck in, I believe, 50 years. I believe they've avoided strikes since the 70s. So this is pretty historic and unprecedented that we could have 2 major unions striking. The cowardly DGA made a deal.
Come on the show, DGA. Defend yourself. We will
Spielberg,
take
Scorsese, Coppola. I got a Coppola fist for you.
Both Russos. Yeah. Come on.
Nichols, is he alive?
No, Mike Nichols.
Ghost of Nichols, show up. Nick Cavett, get over here.
Mike Nichols, director of The Graduate, in addition to a lot of movies, famously wore eyebrow wigs.
Oh.
Did not have any eyebrows, so he wore fake eyebrows his entire life.
Interesting.
Yeah. Did you guys think we'd go there on the Oops All Headlines? Because guess what, we did. But
Oops All Hairlines.
So there are a couple important things here with Marvel. First off, there is a precedence for this. In the past, they have only announced that they were going to be at Comic-Con late, like middle of July, like a few weeks ahead of time. And I think with all the strikes and potential strikes happening, right? Like this will be a fast-moving, fast-evolving situation for all of Comic-Con and all of Hollywood, right? So like, there's a chance if both these strikes or one of them gets settled in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Marvel is back doing stuff. There's also, they have said they will have a presence on the convention floor, right? There will be a Marvel Studios booth. There will be like a Marvel Consumer Products, Marvel Comics. Obviously, all these things are going to be represented.
They'll have exclusives and like things to purchase. And I would imagine they'll have installations because those are things that don't require talent. They can have, you know, perhaps if we're going to get a what if or any sort of animation, I know I'm skipping ahead, or even the Marvels, like there could be the Marvels like trailer experience where you wait in line and go and see like some new footage or whatever.
And just to remind you, right, this is Comic-Con is July 20th, 21st, 22nd. That is right before the end of Secret Invasion. So we'll still be in the middle of new episodes of Secret Invasion. So yeah, will we see, also hinting at what we're going to talk about a little later, some people in the old green masks and makeup wandering the floor, maybe doing some marketing, some kind of a Secret Invasion panel. So like, here are the big Marvel things.
So do you think people from New Jersey will be there? Gotta.
Shout out to the trash bags in the chat. So the things we are kind of anticipating, timelines are lining up. These are things that around this time we should be getting, right? We've been getting teased with fantastic forecasting for what feels like years already.
Yeah.
Last year was, of course, when the movie got announced.
Yes.
We have since gotten a director, Matt Shakman, from WandaVision, but no casting, lots of rumors, lots of fan casting, whatever, but no casting.
Yeah, and like very aggressive rumored casting. Some of the most like, these are the people who are definitely going to be playing these roles I've ever heard. And which makes me think, or makes me hope for just hard pivots, like where it's like, it's not Adam Driver as Reed Richards. It's actually Adam. What's his name? From
West.
It's Adam. It's the ghoul of Adam West. No, Adam, the dude from Workaholics.
Oh yeah, Levine. No, no, that's Maroon 5. Yes.
Quite a long walk for this joke. That's not even funny in the first place. Adam
Devine, not Levine. Devine. Yeah, and that movie, that's a 2025 release, right? Yeah. So like they have to go into production on that pretty soon. So like Marvel clearly is probably already cast or is close to making some casting. Even sooner, right? Probably in the fall, we're getting Loki season 2.
Yes.
We should be getting more trailers or a more significant first trailer for that. There's already some early casting news that's kind of coming out on that, or they're starting to reveal some stuff. Echo, we know, is dropping in November. Right. We haven't seen a trailer from that.
All at once.
All at once?
This is going to be the first Disney Plus Marvel show that every episode will be available on the opening night.
Full binge mode.
Which means Eric Voss will have to develop an amphetamine habit.
Poor Eric Voss.
There's no way.
That's a 29-hour workday for old EA Voss. And then, you know, there were a number of Marvel projects that were currently shooting that have paused production because of the writer's strike, including Daredevil Born Again, Captain America Brave New World, Wonder Man, and I think Coven of Chaos might have already wrapped. I think they got it in and done. And Thunderbolts, right? Like, so all of those have shot, partially shot. So like we could see trailer footage.
I would love to see some Patti LuPone Coven of Chaos. Like no snark, no joke. If you could give me 2 minutes of Patti LuPone singing a song in Coven of Chaos, you know, it's no Josh Allen, but it's close.
Yeah, and you know, as at last year's, was it last year at Comic-Con or last year at D23 that you got the Marvels footage?
We got the first footage at D23.
Yeah. So, you know, there's a precedence here for like, that movie was almost certainly not completed or maybe even close to being completed last year, but they had some footage to show that people really loved. So maybe we get some of that for one of these projects. Now, Universal and HBO have also said they will not have a presence at San Diego Comic-Con. So there's maybe we miss out on some House of the Dragon stuff, more Fast and the Furious.
But they're also paused.
That's right.
I think they really didn't get a lot of filming for that. So I mean, I guess with HBO, it kind of almost makes sense because as disappointing as it is for Comic-Con attendees, if they don't have anything to bring, you're just going to be mad if you go into a panel and they're like, "Hey, dragons will be back and blood relatives are going to keep smooching." So
well, especially like they could make maybe casting announcements or other things like that, but that doesn't quite hit as much. If you don't have those actors there on hand. And it's going to be like, hey, some more English actors you haven't heard of, right?
Oh, no way. They cast Thiley Jenkins?
Ian McBlofeld. Oh.
Yoan Krontango? Cromsworth Heserby? No way.
Well, they got Cromsworth?
They got Cromsworth. Wow. I loved him in Twice Skips the Butcher Man. It was a limited series on BBC 6.
Yeah. The six, as they say. But now, one studio that we think is going to have a significant presence at San Diego Comic-Con, still, fingers crossed, Warner Brothers. Come
on, Warner Brothers.
Please, don't back out, Warner Brothers. So DC, right? This is, in theory, the first time that James Gunn can get up on a stage in front of fans, maybe make some announcements with a live audience, do his best Kevin Feige impression.
Right.
And we think, we already kind of know a lot about their slate, but there's a lot of casting that could be announced.
Right.
Maybe some more directors, actors. And, they've been working on their animated project, Creature Commandos.
Yep.
Right? He said when he made that initial announcement when he was hired, right, that was already in development. Maybe we have a little footage of that we could show?
And, I mean, feel free to disagree with me on this, but Kevin Feige has obviously, each passing year, become more and more of a famous face.
Yes.
James Gunn is an existing, recognizable personality that could anchor a Comic-Con panel of announcements for the DCU by himself if there were no actors available.
Yes.
I would say even more so than Feige. Obviously, we would all line up and listen to Kevin Feige make announcements with no talent there, but James Gunn can kind of walk you through it he's got a little more, I guess, showmanship would be my...
Yeah. And not only the James Gunn projects, but Warner Brothers and DC is going to have 2 movies coming out later this year after Comic-Con. Yeah. Blue Beetle, right? We've gotten a first trailer for that, obviously. Maybe this is around the time we get a tickets on sale trailer, another second significant trailer. And then we haven't seen anything from Aquaman 2. That's coming out in December. So maybe that's the first trailer for Aquaman 2.
Do you think with what we saw this weekend with the Flash's box office, that there will be a mandate from Zaslav for James Gunn to at least make a statement that these movies have at least tangential ties into the new DCU, even if it's kind of bullshit?
Sure.
Because I feel like him complimenting the Flash didn't do enough. I mean, even, and again, maybe it was just intellectual honesty that this Flash movie doesn't tie into the DCU. I think it really hurt fans, comic book fans. It discouraged them from seeing the movie opening weekend when they're like, this movie is just a standalone, which shouldn't be a bad thing, but we're nursed on that cinematic universe now. It's tough to wean people off of it.
Well, yeah, especially, obviously, The Flash, lots of connections to other movies, cameos, things like that, but not necessarily going forward, mostly looking back. Well, there's also potential. We know DC's not above reshooting post-credit scenes.
Right.
To squeeze in cameos, right? So, all you have to do is James Gunn can get up there and say, yeah, Blue Beetle has a post-credit scene where The Rock resets the balance of power in the DC universe. Or, our new Batman is going to show up, or our new Superman is going to show up.
I mean, Batman is name-checked in the trailer.
Yeah.
It feels...
As a fascist, I believe.
Yeah.
So, a lot of hopes riding on Warner Brothers, but we've been talking about, too, that, there's a big chunk of content that is not covered by the WGA or SAG, and that's animation.
Right.
And Marvel in particular has a couple huge animation projects in the works, right? What If Season 2, X-Men 97, and Spider-Man... I want to say Spider-Man first grade. Spider-Man freshman year.
Yes.
Right? If 3 Marvel animated projects that like in theory are coming out next year. I think freshman year might be a 2025 project, but like we haven't seen any footage from those, right? We could do, they usually do a separate animation panel anyways, so maybe we get that.
That would be, I'd be a big fan of that.
Hell
Love
yeah.
to see some X-Men 97 footage. Frank Moran, come to the show.
Come on the show, Frank.
You've been on the show.
Our good friend Frank, who is working on that show. Yes. Hey, what are we saying in the chat? Thank you, Blake Likes the Ducks, for all the bits. Thank you, Christian Unpronounceable, our good friend from Canada, for giving out 5 gift subs to the chat. My man. Thank you, Donkey Teeth Bites. I love that name. For giving out 5 gift subs. Thank you. Thank you, Real Tree 14. Nice to have you back. For giving out 10 gift subs. And our good friend Nerd Girl Jean, thank you for your 10 gift subs.
There's upwards of 30 new subscribers that could be joining now. Call your friends. Call your enemies.
I believe that's how that math shakes out. Thank you, Tommy. Gotham Knight 007. Zach, we missed you, bro. Oh, Gotham Knight 007.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back on the break room. I'm jealous every episode I watch Tommy having fun with other folks.
And them being completely miserable. What is he doing? Why isn't he reading what's on that board? Beware the Dreads. I love that name. Get Tom Holland on the show to give us more leaks. Tom Holland's on a year break, guys.
Well, isn't that years like wrapping up right around now? I think. Well, so that's another thing. I kind of want to come back to this as it relates to San Diego Comic-Con. So Sony has not made any statement about what they're doing. Now they have Madam Web is coming out next February.
Right.
So they'll want to start promoting that. Kraven the Hunter is obviously coming out later this year.
Kraven the Hunter made a big splash this week.
We're going to talk. Don't you worry. We're about to get to Kraven the Hunter. But like, so Sony might have their own Spumsy Sony Marvel Universe panel where they just talk about their projects, right? There's some El Muerto news.
I've heard Touchstone Pictures is going to have a panel.
Oh, a big Touchstone?
Yeah.
I heard Searchlight is going to be...
New Line Cinema.
New Line, finally.
What's Castle Rock?
Castle Rock. Yeah, Miramax back from the dead.
Harvey's coming.
But we're Nerd Girl Jean also saying there better be a TommyCon 2023 or we riot.
We are dealing with some litigation over that, so we're hoping to get there.
We're gonna treat Comic-Con as if it's TommyCon.
Yeah,
Tommy will be there.
Whether New Rockstars approves it or not, I'm getting down there Wednesday night, and I don't even know if I have a place to stay. It might be beach sleeping for me, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm a hermit crab, baby. I'll burn up.
Beach sleeping's better than bitch sleeping. You know what I mean? I don't even know what that means. But
I like it.
Donkey Teeth Bites hoping there will be fewer arrests at TommyCon this year. And then Nerd Girl Jean, Tommy and Jay's reaction to the end of the first episode of Secret Invasion was everything.
We were staggered. I mean, that was as genuine of 2 grown men who love to talk.
Yes.
Being rendered speechless. It was.
Let's talk about that real quick. So, Inside Marvel, if you haven't already seen it, it's on the Breakroom channel now. Yes. We've moved that super successful long-running show over to the Breakroom, its new home.
Yeah.
And we're also, in addition to seeing Eric and Hector and Maud and eventually some other folks chop it up about Secret Invasion every week, Tommy and maybe some other friends are going to be doing reactions to the episode. Separate from Inside Marvel. Instant reactions.
1 a.m. It's on the channel.
Yes. And these folks, they're staying up ridiculously late. So you should too. Why not? You know, you ever watch it? If you're watching it drop on Disney at midnight or whatever time it is where you are, and you're like, God, I just want to talk to somebody about this.
You got us.
Yes.
And you know, I'm at truck stops, just getting the lay of the land, getting pep pills to stay up. You know,
is that all you're doing?
I'm knocking on truck doors, lot lizarding, and I'm saying, boys, I need the pep pills. Let me know what I got to do. I got to stay up till 1 to do this recording.
They have some ideas.
Yeah. They're like, I can keep you up. Oh, man.
Lot Lizard is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
Give him a solo film. He does more than bite noses off.
The Malorian. Hey, would you guys be mad if the second episode of Secret Invasion start up seconds after the end of the first with that body turning into a Skrull?
Mad?
Well,
no. I'd be damn relieved.
Don't you think it's purposeful that A, They showed us Everett Ross die and immediately turn into a Skrull. They showed us Maria Hill die and not turn into a Skrull. They don't want to pull that fake out twice in one episode.
Right.
They thought they were probably priming us to think that she turned back into a Skrull, but then we see it's real.
Now, there are some issues with the canon and some controversial. Is it canon? Is it not? The last person we saw with a death by bullet wound that was a meaningful ally,
Agent Coulson,
who did the same eyes open die, came back.
Yeah.
On a TV show.
Well, and I am still very suspicious. Talos' wife, Soren, right?
Yeah.
Like, dies off screen under mysterious circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, what if she's still alive and she just becomes permanent Maria Hill?
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I once ate at a restaurant with Kobe Smulders. Didn't talk to her. We weren't seated near each other. But as I walked to the bathroom, I saw her and her husband, Taryn, kill him. So I feel like I can speak authoritatively.
Yeah, I think, obviously, you are the person who needs to speak up now in this time of tragedy.
That's right. If I can't advocate for Maria Hill, who will?
Who will speak for the voiceless?
That's right. First, they came for my Maria Hill, and I said nothing. Back to headlines. So, yeah, speaking of Spumsy, our Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters, could we get a Spider-Man 4 announcement at San Diego Comic-Con? There's a lot of rumors that they have tentatively scheduled that for end of 2024. Now, for that to be true, that means that sucker's got to go into production now, right? And there's been some rumors that maybe a script is already in the works, early talks with Holland and the director and whatever. Anyways, fingers crossed, maybe we get some news on that. But in other Sony Spider-Verse film news, so there was this project, one of these weird, they're trying to take advantage of these 200 characters they have licenses to, right? So El Muerto, a very obscure masked luchador wrestler character from this Sony Spider-Verse licensed Marvel characters, right? There was a movie in development with pop music star Bad Bunny set to play the title character. That movie was originally slated for January of next year, so it was already, in theory, pretty far in development.
Right.
That has been kind of taken off the schedule. There's a rumor that Bad Bunny is no longer attached.
They must have known for a long time.
Yes, I think it's just now getting out. Yeah. This has probably been canceled for a while.
Sorry.
Next project had not even started shooting, so making that date, they would have had to probably delay it no matter what with the writer's strike and everything. But for now, it's just been taken off the schedule. Maybe it could still happen. Sounds like maybe not.
I will step in.
You'll play El Muerto?
El Muerto.
Oh, okay.
I'll play El Gordo.
Different character. Yeah. So, Evan, can you scroll down a little bit?
Come on, Evan.
Okay. And we were talking about this earlier. Bad Bunny, who's like the #1 recording artist in the world, right? This guy sells out football stadiums all over the place. Also a WWE superstar, if you're a fan of wrestling.
And a legit good celebrity wrestler. Like on the hierarchy of celebrity wrestlers, he can work a spot.
Absolutely. And if you saw the Brad Pitt movie from last year, Bullet Train, right? He can do a little acting too. He's not afraid of an action sequence. So it would have been an interesting project, but I think he's just so busy being the #1 pop star in the world that to pause that to make an obscure superhero movie might not have been a great plan.
I mean, I've had to make tough choices for my career.
Yeah.
I turned down a lucrative job dishing out ice cream cones to work at New Rockstars.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people thought that I had a real talent for it, and I wasn't stealing anymore. And now here I am, and I'm stealing all the time. Kisses, hearts, equipment. Bad Bunny's touring schedule, I think we said, made it hard for him to star in the movie going forward. Zach, what's next? What's the chat saying?
What's the chat saying? Okay, actually...
Nothing.
Nobody's saying anything. That's fine. We'll come back to the chat. Throw your thoughts on the El Muerto. Are you heartbroken? Are you El Destroydo? But other Sony news this week, we got a big trailer. We got a Kraven the Hunter trailer, baby. And like this had been... I think some of this footage or this trailer had been shown at CinemaCon in April, and the word on the street was like, whoa, the violence is hardcore.
That was a Red Band trailer if I've ever seen one. Now, Zach, do you ever find yourself Kraven?
Kraven what?
I don't know. snacks.
Yeah, of course.
These nuts.
So
These nuts.
I'm sure you've seen, if you're watching us, you've probably seen this trailer by now. There's a great breakdown from Eric Voss on the new Rockstars channel already. Aaron Taylor Johnson, formerly Kick-Ass, and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Plays Kraven the Hunter, a really well-known fan favorite Spider-Man villain.
I'm all over the place with this trailer because I gotta be honest, my Kraven the Hunter knowledge is exclusively Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 90s. That was my show when I was a boy, and he had a very Eastern European accent in that show. This Kraven appears to have
an American accent?
American accent?
While his father, Russell Crowe, an Australian actor,
Right.
has what appears to be an Eastern European or Russian accent. Yeah, there's some interesting accent work. Also, the movie appears to take place almost solely in London or England, with maybe some like Savannah, Africa sets as well. So yeah, the thing that stood out the most to us is the violence, right? They're going for an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Some people argued Morbius might have been more fun had it been R-rated.
I could see that.
I don't know if that's what was holding Morbius back.
I think that was all.
It's Morbid time.
Morbid.
Yeah, my favorite part of this, and we have this clip, is when Kraven bites a guy's nose off.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip, and then I want to talk about it just for a second.
He's Kraven noses. Is also being stabbed in the throat.
Okay, so that guy, we missed it where he stabbed the passenger seat guy, but there is arterial spray.
Yeah.
So he's already murdered this guy. He is biting his nose off for fun.
Just because he wants to.
It doesn't do anything to like disable or disarm a victim to bite their nose off,
Can
right?
we play that again? Okay. Great. Got him. Look at that guy's face. He's not acting uncomfortable. He is literally uncomfortable with that performance. That stuntman is not making a face like I'm in pain. He's making a face like this guy needs to get away from me.
He's saying, Aaron Taylor Johnson, this is not part of the script.
I don't have a prosthetic on my nose.
I
This
was
is
supposed
my
to
real
get stabbed
nose.
in the throat. You're going above and beyond by biting the bridge of my nose off. It's like a top. It's like top half of the nose is getting bitten off. Again, you've already been stabbed in the throat. Okay, you've got moments to live.
No.
Now a guy is biting your nose off.
Real insult to injury.
Is it? Do you think it's like a metaphorical thing? Because maybe they were rhino poachers, and they were coming to get some rhino horn, and so he's going to take your horn.
Well, I'll say this, Zach. This Kraven the Hunter has a nose for violence.
I mean, I'm excited. Eric in the breakdown pointed out this could be like a John Wick kind of level
This movie could
superhero
be
movie.
anything.
Could be anything. He's like bouncing off walls like he's super powered. He apparently has like mutant lion blood in his blood. Russell Crowe's doing some big acting that I'm enjoying. Also, we know we're going to get a rhino character and a chameleon character. Those are two other members that are frequently in the Sinister Six. Kraven, of course, is one of the most common Sinister Six members.
Right.
Morbius, Vulture, other people that could potentially show up in a Sinister Six movie.
Do we think this is Amazing Spider-Man universe? Do you think this is Garfield verse?
And Garfield verse has two rhinos, Paul Giamatti and this guy.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I mean-
you got me. You know what? Fact checked in real time, guys. We give that 2 Pinocchios.
Boop, 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 boop. You know what Aaron Taylor Johnson would do to Pinocchio?
Oh my God. He'd have a field day with him.
Oh, man, there's a lot to bite off.
Snowmen as well. Getting that beta carotene.
Okay, now some folks in the chat, but where the dreads, our friend, is back. If you think about it, The Rock did change the hierarchy of power in the DCU because every movie after Black Adam flopped. That's right. He turned it upside down.
That's a savage point.
That's a great point.
Porky Pig.
Porky Pig in 55. That is a great name. Porky Pig in 55. Tommy is a lot lizard confirmed.
Oh,
Wow, do you have evidence, Porky Pig?
Don't check the CCTV. You're not going to like what you see.
JLA JKE09. I'm sad depresso now. Nice for El Muerto. Was going to be the movie I see for my birthday. Oh, happy January birthday.
Who was the guy that was, you weren't on, were you on the show where the guy was like, I was 6 when I saw Avatar 1. I'll be 30 when Avatar 5 comes out.
God, that's insane.
Yes.
We'll all be dead for Avatar 5, including James Cameron.
You know what comes out on my birthday? The Marvels. So
that's right.
maybe a company birthday party.
Comic-Con 2,
I make everybody go to a movie for my birthday.
Ryan Painter, El Muerto, more like El Muerno.
Oh.
No need to apologize for that pun, Ryan Painter. I support it. M. Notice 115. I'm destroyed but hopeful. Bad Bunny is
a range!
Is from home, and as a fan of MCU, it would have been lit. I assume you're a Puerto Rican of Puerto Rican extraction, and yeah, it would have been nice. I also think he's a really charismatic guy. Even though that's a weird character to make a movie about, I think Bad Bunny would have had fun with it.
Well, and he had the wrestling chops. I don't think we will be long for another Bad Bunny theatrical performance.
That's a great point.
The guy's a star. He's a star.
And maybe it's a little too much to ask of him to carry a full movie in his second ever on-screen appearance.
Yeah, let me train him at the Tom Bechtold Acting Academy.
Oh, how's the academy going?
Under investigation. That's all I can say.
Nerd Girl Jean, I like that he changed the character to be an animal protector, Kraven the Hunter here. Of course, pivoting from hunting animals to more of a, like, hunting poachers or other people that have done him wrong. I mean, you have to imagine the people that he's biting the nose off of, they must be doing some really bad stuff to deserve that kind of retribution, right?
Yeah, because a stab in the neck, that's classy. Getting your nose bit off, that's closed casket shit, man.
Yeah, for real.
What's the mortician gonna do with that? Put a little, like, wooden block there?
A little Groucho Marx glasses.
So we have this new thing where we've been putting Groucho Marx glasses on all of his victims. It's not the best, but, you know, it gives the family closure.
Beware the Dread saying, I heard he actually bit that guy's nose off. He was method acting. Oh. If Jared Leto was playing Kraven the Hunter, I would believe you.
I would never let Jared Leto chop a prosthetic limb off of me, or a fake limb off of me, bite me anywhere, take me on one of his weird vacations into the wilderness.
No. Same with Succession's Jeremy Strong.
No.
I don't need anybody that like can't leave character doing violence.
Anyone who considers killing themselves in the final shot of their TV show is, not that he really did, and suicide's nothing to joke about, but he did think about jumping into the river, which is, listen, I'm a thespian. I tread the boards.
Say what?
Never occurred to me to hurt myself. In fact, I go out of my way.
Speaking of killing yourself, you don't need to suffer at all to have some great looking gear that you can wear around the house, okay? And our friends at Nerd Riot, do you like that transition? Our friends at Nerd Riot have some great shirts specifically. Tommy's wearing one of our Secret Invasion inspired shirts. It's a little half War Machine, half Skrull. And Invasion is here. There's another cool one I think I have right here that is half Nick Fury, half Skrull. Yes. One last fight. I keep trying to get out, and they pull me back in.
Even when I'm out, I'm in.
Even when I'm out, I'm in. And then
I just said a thing I shouldn't have said. Redact that.
Even those Secret Invasion shirts. And then we've got some other upcoming properties. So I'm wearing our fun Barbie Oppenheimer combo shirt.
I wore that to the theater the other day.
Yeah.
And I got so many compliments on it.
I was wearing this shirt at a pharmacy the other day, and the pharmacy tech was very excited about it. Yeah. It's kind of a Margot Robbie-esque Barbie with some nuclear mushroom clouds in her glasses. There is no better shirt to wear the weekend that Barbie and Oppenheimer open as you do your double bill, double feature.
You know where I'll be taking those films in? San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah, it's that weekend.
Come watch Barbie with me. Maybe I'll do a meetup. Maybe I'll do a double feature meetup. You know, you could spend worse time than 6 hours with me crying in a theater. And I will be crying
the whole time.
As soon as they turn the lights down, I start bawling. I get scared.
Coming up a lot sooner, this month, for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, we've got a little Indy I Love You shirt that would also be really fun to wear to the theater when you go see Dial of Destiny.
That shirt gets me in the feels because I love that relationship. And did you know that...
we are all short round.
We all wanted to be. Did you know that Ki Kwan?
Yes.
he brought the actor who played the little Maharaja to the Dial of Destiny premiere.
Oh.
I think, unless I was lied to by TikTok, but it does appear that he did, or at least he was there, and because they took a picture together.
Oh,
and,
that's so cute.
Yeah.
All of those shirts available at nerdriot.shop. We're also working on, we're going to do an exclusive new Rockstars San Diego Comic-Con shirt that we're going to be wearing around the convention there. And I don't want to give away the design, but it's really fun.
Zach, what's the latest update on me getting a t-shirt gun so I can projectile?
Yeah, it's just a matter of how many chambers.
Okay, 36.
Enter the 36 chambers of t-shirt gun.
I want a Gatling. T-shirt Gatling.
Jesse Ventura and Predator style, just mowing people down.
Tragedy in San Diego today. Nerdriot.shop accounted for. 10 dead.
We got some news today confirming when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be arriving on home entertainment, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, all those things. And with that, they listed, it's going to be July 7th. Sorry, I should have said the date. And they listed all of the special features. And of course, there's going to be director's commentary, some behind-the-scenes making of featurettes. But they're also going to have multiple deleted scenes. And it sounds like, and they gave brief descriptions of the deleted scenes. And a lot of them are just kind of like extra bits. There's like Peter comforting a manimal on Counter Earth, little bits that seems like, oh, they probably cut that for time, or maybe it wasn't as funny as they originally planned. But there's one really interesting scene mentioned that kind of confirms what we've already made content about, that the High Evolutionary is alive. He survived the events of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So there's a scene where Kraven, back on Nowhere at the end of the movie, is recruiting Adam Warlock to become a member of the Guardians. And during that scene, you see High Evolutionary get kind of locked up in Nowhere jail, which I love that they have a jail on Nowhere.
Yeah. They got a strip club, to my knowledge.
Did they show that?
They show it Nowhere. You know what it's called?
No, Nowhere, but it's WEAR.
Yeah. No underwear. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And we had talked off camera, and I think he's going to be in that jail with other people, and he's going to radicalize them to his cause. And I could also see big bads in the upcoming Marvel releases in phase, what are we going into, 5? Recruiting him. Doctor Doom has high use for the High Evolutionary.
Maybe we see a little jailbreak sequence where somebody needs another baddie on their side. I love that idea.
Absolutely.
You could also, stash him for a bunch of movies. 5 years from now, randomly, maybe it's a Guardians movie, maybe not, right? We bust him out. I love that, and I love going back to you being like, oh, if there's a jail, who else is in that jail?
Right.
Kind of like the end of the Batman, where now the Riddler's in jail, and who's that next to him? It's the Joker, right? Like, we can see that. Now, you probably don't have that plan in place, and I think James Gunn was very purposeful in not wanting to be setting up too much other stuff at the end of this.
And then walking away from it and being like, have fun.
But I do like that it's like, okay, that's there. There were kind of plans, right? Like, that character's not dead.
I love keeping him alive because he was, for the first time in a while, unless I'm completely mistaken, the most pure villain one of these movies has had, with literally zero redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
Everything he wanted, depending on how you look at it. I mean, some people at this company probably thought he was great.
A lot of people are really into bunny-human hybrids.
I mean, I, for one, have been arguing to put walruses in wheelchairs for years. They're so cute. But I like it. I want to keep him alive. I want him to cause more damage. I want him to get another shot. He's so smart.
Yeah.
And he's a survivor.
Great portrayal, too. Great actor, character.
That guy is awesome.
match.
And he's so fun to listen to in real life.
Yes.
Because he's so into playing this role, but clearly such a nice. When I didn't get to interview him at the junket, but he was there, and he was one of those. The actors are very busy, and those junkets are long days. He was checking in with every single person, waving hello, saying hi. Evan was there; he saw him too. We also saw Adam Warlock. He smiled too, but the Higher Evolutionary, he gave a "What's up, fellas?"
Oh, good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude. Well, and he was a longtime theater actor in England, I think, and just recently maybe started being in more high-profile film and TV projects. So like maybe he appreciates it a little bit more. Love to see him. So anyways, here's some hope that with that deleted scene, we see a little bit more High Evolutionary in our future. Some folks in the chat, Savvy389. Honestly, tired of sympathetic villains. You need some unsympathetic villains in your life, Savvy. And I think High Evolutionary certainly was. Not a redeemable guy. Christian Unpronounceable. What did a walrus do to you, Tommy?
Well, let's just say I'm not allowed at Marineland anymore.
Ooh.
And I'll leave it at that. And we'll let the lawyers sort it all out.
That's a tusk too far there.
Niagara Falls, Marineland, shout out. Is that even open anymore? My God, we got to set those creatures
Let's
free.
hope that Hayden Panettiere and her friends shut that guy down.
4'11" Hayden Panettiere's like, get him out of here!
Yeah, she's out there stopping whale boats and stuff. Ghost. Maybe like a Virgo that's also a ghost. That would be interesting if there's a High Evolutionary and Doctor Doom collab.
Yes.
Two doctors?
Everett Moss going to get the Higher Evolutionary.
Everett Moss lives. Secret Invasion news. Let's pivot there, okay?
Everett Ross. Sorry.
Everett Ross. Everett Moss is Elizabeth Moss's dad.
Yeah, he's the one that got her into the church.
So, of course, Secret Invasion came out this week. We've already got a couple pieces of content up on the channel. Watch the new Rockstars full episode breakdown. We're very excited. It was a bombshell of an episode.
Yes.
And some news has kind of come out. They did some really fun guerrilla marketing for this. So Disney owns Marvel. Disney also owns the ABC television network. And at multiple like local news affiliate ABC networks, they did like remote shoots where like somebody would be reporting from the street about something going on, and they just had somebody in Skrull makeup walk behind the camera.
I love it.
As if like Skrulls are among us. Now, again, don't read too much into the logic of this, why a Skrull would be walking around a city street non-transformed, or we do assume that ABC cameras have kind of a decoder ring quality to them.
Now, can I get on a soapbox for a second?
Please.
Where are the fat Skrulls? I get that when they turn into a human form, they can pick the most attractive person possible if they want. But once they go back into that green meat, why aren't there any husky boys or husky gals? Here's what I'm proposing. We need to raise some funds.
Okay.
And I want a special effects makeup artist to scroll me at Comic-Con for one of the days, and I will traipse around the terrain of San Diego in full Skrull makeup, and finally, thick Skrulls will have their day.
Hashtag thick Skrulls, okay? Also, can everybody, frame by frame, go through all that footage of like the Secret Skrull base and like
find
Chernobyl
one guy over 195. I dare you.
Find one person with a BMI above 25.
By the way,
okay?
a little belly doesn't count. I'm talking having trouble fitting on roller coasters, needing 2 seats on the bus. Okay?
Yeah.
Call me then.
Hashtag thick Skrulls. We're gonna get this going, okay?
Scrat asses. All right, let's go. Let's move on.
But the real talk of the town, besides the big cliffhanger ending of episode 1, was the intro of the show, right? This kind of animated sequence. It came out that sequence was generated by AI.
Alan Iverson.
No, artificial intelligence, Tommy. Though it did get crossed over a couple times on its way to
the answer.
Breaking ankles. We actually have some footage from the opening, just if you don't remember it or you haven't seen it yet, just so we can see that.
Oh, I just wanted it to be the nose biting scene again. Yeah, this definitely looks AI. Right?
Yes.
It's cool, though. I don't know. I can't wait till AI runs our whole lives.
Well, and it's interesting, right? It feels almost purposeful. Like if you've ever messed around with Midjourney and tried to create AI art, it looks like that. It looks like, a little smearedy, not quite symmetric, a little like uncanny valley.
Mine doesn't look like that.
What does yours look like?
Nothing we can talk about here.
All right.
Too many fists.
And I think as was mentioned, we were talking about it before with producer Evan, right? Like AI has trouble with hands and faces and teeth and like some of these human details that we kind of take for granted. AI has trouble kind of reproducing accurately. And that's certainly evident in that footage when you look close. This is a different clip.
I mean, the hands on Big Ben are whirling around at a very unbelievable pace.
Look at those fingers, they're a little funky.
Funky fingers.
And so it came out, Method Studios, who's a pretty big VFX studio, was responsible for making the opening sequence. And they came out and they said, no artist jobs were replaced by artificial intelligence, okay? I mean, we'll see if we believe them on that. They said that AI was just a tool they used among the array of tools that artists employed to make that opening sequence, right? And, you know, AI is kind of a hot button issue right now. It's a big sticking point for some of these strikes that are taking place in Hollywood.
Paul McCartney is going to make a final Beatles song with AI.
John Lennon, which is, as was foretold in the final book of Exodus. So I think like it is, we're taking a step back. Artists for decades now have been using computers, right, to design, you know, Toy Story was made by computers, right? And now modern computer generated animation and VFX has a lot of kind of algorithms and tools. It's not like, you know, an artist is dragging every pixel of every explosion manually, right? Like a lot of this is done for you. This is taking a little bit farther, where it's like the images are generated by an AI program, but it's part of a continuum of design that's been happening, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, a lot of times I feel like this has happened in the past vocally, with vocal performances in biopics with singers. They'll use a kind of an amalgamation of the actor's voice, the real life singer's voice, and AI to kind of smooth it all in.
Yes.
Very famously in Bohemian Rhapsody, there's the guy in Canada who sounds just like Freddie Mercury. Supposedly Rami Malek did some singing, but very much like this quote where they're like, there were some artists working on it too. I believe Rami Malek did, where it was like, they were like, I drew in an eyebrow. That was all he's saying. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. I don't know if I believe them that no jobs were taken. I think you can kind of dance your way around that and prove it in other ways. Now, I spoke to Ali Salim. We had a wonderful conversation.
The director of
all of the episodes. I will say, didn't seem like he hated me.
Somewhere north of hate? Okay.
Somewhere north of hate, somewhere south of general tolerance. He said, we would talk to them about ideas and themes and words, and then the computer would go off and do something. Not a ringing endorsement for that last quote, by the way. And then we could change it a little bit by using words, and it would change. And then Salim also goes on to say using AI plays into the theme of the show, which is true. When we reached out to the AI vendors, that was part of it. It just came right out of the shape-shifting Skrull world identity. You know, who did this? Who is this?
Yeah, I think that it does make a lot of sense. And I think that's why they've been vocal. I bet there's been other things in Hollywood that have been designed by AI, but they're talking about this because it kind of makes sense with the themes of the show,
Absolutely.
Right? Like somebody else, non-human, imitating humans, right? This is kind of a non-human imitating human artists or designers, right? Like, and I do like the uncanny valley quality of the opening sequence of like, this looks a little weird.
Yeah.
Right? It looks like a strange imitation.
I mean, I feel dumb because when I was watching the first episode, I'm like, man, this is really beautiful. I love this opening title sequence. Whoever drew this is like really trippy, and like they're doing such like so close to what they're supposed to look like, but just a little bit off. And then I learned it was my Roomba.
I guess in the chat they have proposed #Thralls.
Well, I'm thrilled about Thralls. Let's get the Thralls to Comic-Con.
Yeah, for thick Skrulls. I mean, we didn't want to go with Skrix. I get it. Thralls is a better choice. We're gonna make Thralls happen, folks. Let's get thick Skrulls going. Okay.
Let me show my Skridonk. And I'm painting it that green too, by the way. That artist is going tits to toes.
Dumps like a scruck. Thighs like what?
Let me see that scrunk. Yes.
Keenan Doll's in the chat saying, is Nick Fury going to get an episode of his life story recap? Ooh, are we going to do a flashback? Marvel's not afraid to do a flashback. De-aged Samuel L., of course, Captain Marvel. That would be really cool. I would love that, right? And like all this talk about he's different since the blip. He's not the same Nick Fury. Yeah. Things have been different since he's been hanging out on the space station, right? It would be interesting to show us a little bit of that, right?
I love the way he looks in this show.
Yeah.
that like
that old man in the sea beard and the big scar.
And you know by the end he's gonna be cleaned up and like looking cool, but I'm like, for now, just go through it, baby. You're going through some tough times. Let it show.
Yes, it's definitely the post-breakup Nick Fury look for sure. Real Tree 14. If they only wear Skrull skins in New Skrullos, why were they all wearing human clothes?
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, because they can transform their clothes. I also don't know, part of the Skrull mythology that has not been explored to my knowledge is like, can they transform just some of the stuff? Can Telos just change his face but keep his clothes? Or can he like take your face but my clothes?
Oh.
Or does it need to be like a full package?
Well, I think there's different abilities. Like like different Skrulls are better at imitating. So
Yeah.
I bet you the most talented shapeshifters can probably manipulate their wardrobe and even probably little things with their appearance. Whereas like the younger Skrulls, the kid Skrulls can't even do it at all.
Yeah, that's why we only see them with little green heads. And I like what Gaia said about like, we stay in human form all the time because then we're less detectable. That's an interesting part of the canon I don't think I've heard explored yet, right? Anyways, we're super looking forward to all the rest of the weeks of Secret Invasion. We'll be covering it here on the Breakroom with live reactions that drop when the episode drops. We're staying up late, folks. And then early the next morning, we'll be posting full Inside Marvel episodes here on the Breakroom channel. And then on New Rockstars, you'll find Eric Voss's awesome full episode breakdowns. So subscribe to both channels, stay up to date, refresh, watch that shit. Here's a little inside baseball, guys. Okay, this is not in the prompter. YouTube operates in this weird thing called view velocity. Okay? If a lot of people watch a video right when it comes out, YouTube's like, oh, this must be a really good video. Let's show this to a lot more people. And so like, even if it's just like 1,000 people click on it in the first minute or something like that, right? That ends up meaning hundreds of thousands more views over the life of the video. So if you're ever like, you see a tweet like, hey, a video just dropped, or like you happen to notice that New Rockstars just uploaded a video and it's in the first like hour that the video's up and you don't have anything better to do, it is super helpful if you watch the video right then.
Post haste. Toot sweet.
Toot sweet.
Kids are hungry. Let them starve.
They'll still be hungry in an hour from now.
Feed them Eric Voss's sweet, sweet Easter eggs.
Thank you all so much for dining out with us today.
Oops All Headlines has been so satisfying.
Yes, here on Oops All Headlines. Thank you, Tommy, for joining me.
My pleasure.
We didn't get to some other interesting headlines. We'll probably jump into those next time. Other kind of Comic-Con news, some other studios, some other upcoming Marvel projects we're excited to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to this video on YouTube. Try to follow us on Twitch or catch us on Twitch the next time we're live.
Catch these hands.
Ooh, catch these hands. Hashtag Thralls.
Hashtag Thralls. Hashtag Skradonkadon.
Have a great day, everybody. Keep it Gucci to Moochie.
To Moochie, baby.